Howdy, my name is Mr. Curious, and this is just a pretty, not really super short, but a little bit of a tour of BusinessCraft. Now, I would like to start off in the tutorial, just because straight away it shows what BusinessCraft is. We got business, hospital, government, university, useful information, wild, sorry about that, and vehicles in the city, and vehicles, man. This is one of my favorite things to do. It's just jump in a vehicle and drive, or fly. You can fly. The city, of course, we got a very vibrant city here going on. We got actually a town as well, which Lexford is the town, while everything else is a city. Covington and Ocean City aren't really put up yet, so you won't see those right now. But let's go ahead and start with how it really kind of, what steps you would go for first. University, you'll run into, and then it'll be the wild, to start a business, to get into government, and it kind of works like that. Hospital, kind of in the after like business, hospital, government. These two like are the next steps. Vehicles eventually, because they're a little pricey. Depending on where you go, they are a little pricey. But then you come down here, we go to our spawn point. And right here we got our city, like right off the bat, we got a little bit of a city going on here. Here we got our head shop, which we sell custom heads. We got a blacksmith to repair. Come around here, we got our buses. This is a city bus, and this is our capital bus. This one takes you to like Lexford right now and other places. Then you got the government trade store, which is buying and trading materials that the government have too much of or something. All that fun stuff. A library that does need a little bit of work. A newsstand that you can rent. If you do a news station, you can rent out a spot here. We can place a barrel here, and you can sell your books in-game. Moving on, we got some some mailing around. You can mail items to players. You could also do /mail. You can actually get a mailbox as well. I'm not sure if this still works, but most likely still does. I'm not really sure how it worked. I've never actually got one of them. I need to. Then you come over here, we got our first apartment building that we'll be visiting today, which is the police office, Department of Justice building. Now I like to just come right here and jump up here and look at this helicopter. This is just a good view, so I like it. And moving on, we have our Lakeside Mall right here, which is usually where you begin your business adventures. One of the more common areas to be visited, well-known areas, easy to get to from spawns. You spawn right there by the boat, you walk over there. Between that, because it's strategically placed, if I might say so myself, because that's like a huge business depot right there. This area right here that you see with a giant Christmas tree is what we call the Department of Public Affairs Event Park. And yeah, pretty self-explanatory. A little park for events. This one we're doing Secret Santa this month. We do have selling stuff for Christmas here, and it changes almost every month. There are sometimes it's a little, there's no holidays for a good stretch sometimes, so sometimes it just either sits as something else or kind of like a universal type park area. I will run inside the shop. It may lag a little bit, but I got one little part that I would like to point out inside of the shop itself, which if you come down here, you got the tender shop is what we have, and you can sell your items, and government usually utilizes it for buildings or rotates it back into the economy, and that way we have a little bit of a push and a way to work with government funding and all that. And not utilized as much as it should be. With that's something hopefully going to be worked on. And then we're going to come over here. We are going to see that building later, but first we wanted to see the others, because that one we're going to go take a train ride and have fun with that. I really enjoy that ride. And so here we got the museum, and a lot of interesting historical feats happen in that museum. And you could see pictures. Well, I mean, museum, you see pictures right there. Maps of different cities and towns over the years. We have had various ones. This is our older bus style for our older map, and here is a version of that older map there. Here is our helicopters. Pretty cool, awesome. This one's for police only. So if you want a blue one, you gotta become a police officer and rise in the ranks. Blue car, of course, same thing with that one. If you want a blue one, you gotta be a police officer. And then I will point out this next part. Now this part is more personal to me, not government. But this is kind of showcase buildings in general. You have the option to come and purchase one of these plots. Not sure. It should pop up with one of these. Let me see. Oh, I can't get it to pop up right now. There you go. You see that? Purchasing of a government, from the government to buy a plot. This one is my personal plot. One of mine. It is one of the oldest buildings on the server. Not built by me, but it is a historical building. And I do got to work on the interior. For the longest time, I haven't had trouble, like, fully understanding what to do with the interior of it, but I got some plans in mind. But just kind of wanted to showcase that little part there, just kind of show that we have buildings that you build. Like a lot of these buildings that I'm not showing, player built. I'm not sure about that one. Player built. So yeah. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the hospital. Now this is actually the first bus stop majority of players would take to go to university. We're just going to go around and visit university and then head on down the road a bit. This is the DOPA building, Department of Public Affairs, the actual building for them where they facilitate out of. And it to me, I like the building. It's one of my favorites. I like the other side of it better than this, but you can see that for yourself to understand why. Then you come over here to the hospital, where you could either talk to Nurse Yolanda, if you get a broken leg and stuff, or if you need a doctor, you could call in a doctor right over there. From here, though, we are going to go over here to this university. Now I am going to kind of showcase this part a little bit more, mainly because the university is a strong point to enter the server. You come in here, you walk down the hall, and then you come to this board, usually. Sometimes people go that one first, but it's normally this one. So you got university jobs, or exam jobs, what I like to call them both, or usually exam. Most players do go with farmer, lumberjack, miner, and hunter first, but later on they switch. I believe you can switch once every 4 hours or so, so you can do 2 or 3 of these jobs a day easily if you really, really dedicate yourself to it. And you can only have one at a time. Now, doctor and landscaper are a little mixed. They are more of an exam job, but under government. So you're allowed to have landscaper and doctor, but also one of these. That's kind of confusing, but kind of makes sense. Here, for you got your qualifications or permits, whatever you may want to call it. But you could do a lawyer exam, driver, weapons permit, writer, and just get little perks to help out with these jobs. And so moving on now, we're going to go ahead and head towards the vehicles. Now this is one of my favorite parts of the server. I don't know why, but driving vehicles is probably one of my favorite things to do on the server itself. And here we got a little dealership. And as you can see, we got our vehicles in here, but this is the only place you could buy supercars, which are quite expensive if you look at that. You can buy normal vehicles here. It is cheaper to buy these off of a engineer than it is to buy it here, but if you just want to go spend the money, I come here. Or if you want the supercars. I'm not sure what's going on with the tractor. These are tractors. Tractors can only be bought and utilized by farmers. They are kind of cool because they farm a bigger area. Same with this. This is a drill, but this is for miners only. This is one of the supercars. Here's another one. Some bikes, cars. Now they're all the same design, the bikes and the cars. Supercars as well. Tractors. Most of them are just different colors, and I do believe like sometimes they have different speeds, if I remember correctly. So they do have a little bit different in general. Come on over here. We got our gun shop right here, where again, like the dealership, you could go to a gunsmith and get something cheaper, or you could come here. And then moving on, you come over here. I do like to showcase this area. This area actually isn't government. This is all player built almost, besides these two buildings, I want to say. Maybe one more, but I don't remember which. I think maybe that one down there, but I'm not 100%. But this is Chinatown. Now, that is more, it's like a mix right there, but it works. This is one of our 2 district themed areas. This one's more advanced than the other, but it is a pretty unique area to explore and view. Here we got our Department of Internal Development building. It was Department of Agriculture's originally. We combined DOC, the Department of Construction and Agriculture, at one point. So now we got this one. This one's more for adoptions, reclaims, and animals. And it's like a little zoo in the back, so it's cool to explore. It is different than what it used to be, it seems. It feels a little different now that it's a combined department rather than just DOA. So we got a little bit of DLC stuff in there from what I know as well. And then we come over here and we got our bank, where Department of Economy really runs out of. You could actually rob the bank too, so that's pretty fun. You will get the police officers to come after you, but you can rob them. And then here we got our Capitol building. Very large, fancy building. It does have our Parliament stuff and all some other stuff within it. Then you fly down here, we have our Judicial building. Smaller, different looking, but at the same time a bit of the same. Then over here you got the Prime Minister residence, kind of like the White House. It's just the residence for the Prime Minister. There is work going on around these areas, as you can see, not fully finished, and always looking for more builders to help out. Moving over here, we have more of our neoclassical area. This area is not that much developed, but there is a few buildings here and there. And you can kind of explore around. It's needs a little bit of work, if you ask me, but here we go. Now we're going to also, oh look, we also got a gas station. Now we're going to go ahead and go back to the train station. And I'm just going to go on a fly so you can kind of get the full view of this from above. This is our train station. Something newer to this map that we have begun working on. This one is about a year old, the map itself, since release. And this is something that we got to come with it, was trains. And now we are actually going to go on a train ride. We're not going to really explore the town of Lexford, but we are going to go on the train ride just because trains are awesome, and why not do a train ride, man? Yeah, let's do it. Can I get up on this one? Oh god, don't. Oops. No. Oh, that worked. It scared me for a second. And so we will take this train ride. It does get faster, don't you worry. And from there, we're going to go to there, and then we'll go see our last little bit of area before we move on to the ending. And we are going to go to the train. That's still there. Oh my gosh. We need to really update some of these things. At some point on this train ride, we should be able to see our last area we're going to visit from afar, which I'm not sure. I've never actually tried to look at it from the train. I'm not sure if you can. No, not really. Over here we got some of our mansions. We do have a mansion district. It's not very large, but it is something that we do have. And it's kind of hard to see while in the train. I wish you could like see the view of the train somehow. That'd be cool. But it is a little bit different in general. Train, train. Here we go on a train, 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 train. This is my third time doing this, so I'm kind of actually bored of the train a little bit. Like I need a different view. A bridge. Ah, here we go. Coming like this, and we could. Is my cape like floating? Oh, that's kind of funny. Whee! There we go. And up ahead, we should start seeing our farming district as well. Lesser known area, lesser used as of late. Go through a tunnel. Whee! Down there, yeah. And that's where if like you want to rent a spot to farm inside of the city, kind of, not really inside the city, but on the main map, and not the wild, then we got that to utilize. And here, coming up soon, we should start seeing Lexford. Yes, we see the first house, the adoption center, and then move on from there. We're going to actually pop up off the train here in a second into here, and voila, any moment now. There we go. And welcome to Lexford. And now we come over here, and you could take the train ride, or you could take the quicker route of the bus. I do both. I switch it up, but here we got Lexford, which is our only other town slash city for now. We do have two more, again, Ocean City and Covington, which will be out hopefully sooner than later, but we shall see. But for now, this is your other area. I'll do another video maybe on that area, but for now, we're gonna move on and start heading towards the port, which you saw the head shop. Cool, yeah. We see that everywhere. But one thing that I really have enjoyed that we've gotten to kind of implement and work into us is this trade office that here. Now this is exports and imports, which sells cool little items. You've seen a few of them here and there, but these items are just awesome. Those are not the best showcase, but yeah. But these are our warehouses, our industrial district, as to say. We've got a bunch of warehouses, and players own these. They are built by someone else, but they are sold off and auctioned off to players. And yeah, that's the general little workaround of BC. Like, there's so much more, but that's mainly the government side of it all. And it's always growing, always developing. These buildings that you see today may not be the same buildings a year from now. Some of them may, but not all of them. I have seen so many changes in this street right here alone since I've seen this map released, being nothing. I worked before the map was released to everybody else. So I've seen it nothing. Then I've seen 2 buildings there, 2 buildings there. This plot was built by me, and then it's probably going to change here recently. It's probably going to change here again soon. This building, this building, this building. A new building over. I think I've seen something there once. I've seen parts of that change. Like everything. Some very few buildings remain the same. This building and these 3 I've actually seen stay the same. That one stayed the same for quite a bit. More on that direction, no. This little building right here keeps changing as well. So the city's always changing. That is actually a new building right there. That one was just placed in recently. That one, I don't. That one's new to this map. Some of these are from the older map. Like that one's from the older map. That one, not that one. Is it that one? No. It's the one on the other side of this. These 2 right here, these purple and this blue one. So yeah, it's always changing, always growing, and always expanding. This has been a fun little trip to take around the city, and I hope you kind of got a sense of what we got here. Yeah, I don't really know what to do for an outro, so I don't do videos often. I got too much background noise, too much things going on in general, so I just kind of get lost. For the ending, though, I would leave it with one thing. My absolutely favorite part of this city is this bridge. I don't know why, but it is like, if I'm just running around, I always navigate back to this bridge. Some way, somehow, I am back to the bridge. And to me, it's just one of the most, like, the coolest thing in the whole city. But that's all. And thanks for watching if you got this far. If you skipped around, that's fine. I know I talked and mumbled a little bit here and there. And I know it's not the most exciting thing to see, is like a small showcase of the city itself. But honestly, I like this city. And I like to keep seeing it grow. And more people join. It grows, it changes. It's almost like it's alive.